Good evening, welcome to the YouTube channel, How to Get an 800 Credit Score. My name is Lyndon Baptiste, and welcome to the channel. Also as well, tonight we have a very special topic. We're going to be talking about, I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts on whether or not there's going to be a second stimulus check. Okay, so if you agree with me, leave me a comment after the video's over. If you disagree, leave me a comment after the video is over also as well. But if you haven't already, definitely subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. That way you will never miss a single video as we make them here on this channel. Give this video a like and leave me a comment, like I said before, also as well. So this couldn't come at a better time. As of right now, we have over 30 million people who filed for unemployment in the last 6 weeks. And that is a definition of a crisis. We're getting just as bad as it was during the Great Depression, or maybe even worse than the Great Depression also. And I found an article from Simply Wise where they did a study and said that 63% of Americans will need another stimulus check in 3 months. So this is something that is definitely needed for Americans, because that one $1,200 check is just simply not enough. But according to Forbes magazine, there's a lot of support for the Emergency Money for the People Act right now. There's a lot of support in the House, that is, and amongst the House representatives. But we've yet to see, if any Republicans going to support it. There's no Republican support for this bill right now. As a matter of fact, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, she's pushing a new $800 billion plus stimulus package, as the Republicans, they are resisting a big spending. But that's really what it's going to take right now. It's going to take a lot of big spending for them to get more payments out to Americans, and also, get everything else that they want to get included in the next stimulus package also as well. But they are deeply divided in Congress over, sending more federal aid to state and local governments, which the Democrats want to do. Nancy Pelosi suggests that the states will need another $1 trillion to cover the budget shortfalls that they have within the states, while Mitch McConnell, he proposed the other day to allow states to go bankrupt instead of sending them the aid that they need. Now, President Trump's stance is that he's pushing for a payroll tax cut in the next package in order for him to encourage people to get back to work. But members of the Republican Party have pushed back against that idea also as well. So not all the Republicans agree with Trump that we should have a payroll tax cut. Mitch McConnell has a separate stance. And Mitch McConnell is pushing hard for limits on legal liability for businesses. In other words, if you have been laid off from your job and say you're at home and your job calls you back to work, you go back into work and then you get sick and catch this sickness that's going around now, then you cannot sue your employer, and this is your right. It's your right to sue your employer. So pretty much Mitch McConnell wants to take away your rights. Now, as far as money to the states, what Nancy Pelosi is also pushing for, Nancy says that they'll come around on this. She's talking about the Republicans will come around on money to the states because, according to her, Republican and Democrat governors need this. So I could understand that. My state here in South Dakota, we have a Republican governor, Kristi Noem, and she's always talking about that we need more funding for the state, that the state has a deficit here and needs more funds. So this is something that is definitely needed here. Now this divide, I mean, don't get me wrong, okay? Because Democrats and Republicans in the Congress, they disagree on many issues, does not necessarily mean that a new stimulus package cannot pass, okay? It just means that the Republicans want what they want and the Democrats want what they want, okay? Now it just needs for either a compromise to happen or a win-win situation to happen. Nancy Pelosi is suggesting that the states will need another $1 trillion to also as well. And there's a proposal to send monthly payments of $2,000 a month to qualifying Americans, which is gathering support. They're probably referring to the Emergency Money for the People Act right now. And that's what's gaining a lot of support right now in the House of Representatives. So we've yet to see really what's going to happen with that. I mean, it could go either way, but I guess we'll see. But several House committee chairmen outlined the provisions expected in the upcoming bill, according to a statement from the Democratic caucus after the private call. So Nancy Pelosi had a private call with the members of the House on Monday. And the Ways and Means Committee Chairman Richard Neal discussed another round of additional direct cash payments for families and extended unemployment insurance. Representative Maxine Waters, a Democrat for California, chair of the Financial Services Committee, focused on helping homeowners, renters, and small landlords make rent and mortgage payments, the statement said. Energy and Commerce Chairman Frank Pallone spoke about investing in virus testing and contact tracing. So they want to focus on helping the homeowners and the renters too, and small landlords. They're probably referring to the Free Rent and Mortgage Act too also as well. So it's going to be quite interesting how this all pans out, the next stimulus package, that is. Another article for NPR, shows that Mitch McConnell is assisting on his liability protections for businesses during the pandemic. And also what he's trying to do is he's trying to push judges, conservative judges in. So that's what Mitch McConnell is focused on, those two things there. Now, Donald Trump, of course, he wants his payroll tax cut. He's been talking about this payroll tax cut for a few weeks now, actually. He made a mention on the news that there will be no stimulus package without a payroll tax cut. And he keeps insisting that, he wants this. He said he likes the payroll tax cut. So this is something that he likes personally. It's not something that, he's doing. I don't know. I don't really want to judge him in any ways. But I feel that, in my opinion, this payroll tax cut is not going to help a lot of people. The 30 million people who are unemployed, I don't see how it's going to help them in any ways, this payroll tax cut. Okay? Maybe people who are working, it will help people who have a job. It could possibly, make people want to go back to work too also. Employers, it could help them too in small ways. But, I mean, the majority of the people that are hurting right now, it's not going to help them at all. So when I said the win-win situation, it can be a win-win. Plus, you get free rent, mortgage, and money to the states. And Donald Trump gets the payroll tax cuts. and Mitch McConnell gets his limited liability for businesses. I don't know if they'll give him a Supreme Court judge. I don't know if they give him, if the Democrats are willing to give the Republicans and Donald Trump all of that just to get what the Democrats want, the free rent and mortgage and the recurring cash payments to Americans and the money for the states. So we'll just have to see. I mean, if it works out to be a compromise situation, then one party will have to give up something, or maybe both parties would have to give up something in order to make a deal. Do I believe that there will be a second stimulus check? Is another stimulus check coming? It's possible. It's very possible. I mean, Republicans, even though some Republicans like Scalise and a couple of others voiced their opinions against giving direct cash payments to Americans, that doesn't represent the views of all the Republicans. Okay, and who knows? They may be able to come to some type of agreement. So we've yet to see, but I will definitely be keeping you guys updated to let you know what are the latest developments concerning this. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. That way you'll never miss a single video as we make them here